Good morning. It's Friday, the 29th of March, 2019. A warm welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk coming to you from Television Centre here in the United Kingdom of Bracknell. Look at this. Do you like this? This is the Brexit jacket today. But not happening today, dear. There's another vote. Another vote. Do you like this one? I thought this was very, very suitable for today. Morning. I'm still on a high for saving 50 quid yesterday off an Argos. I ordered a bed from Argos for the caravan. If you weren't watching the show yesterday, just before I hit the send button to pay for it, I decided to do a quick search on Google to see if there were any discount codes. And I simply typed in discount codes Argos and up come one for 20%. 50 quid saved. Thank you very much. It's much better to be closer to £200 than £300 when you're spending money. I tell you that now. Shall we start with an absolutely beautiful day yesterday, wasn't it? And today as well. The sun's out. The sky is jet blue. It's beautiful. Just blue. No clouds in there at all. I was watching the BBC News breakfast programme this morning. And they were showing some stunning pictures this morning. It was Naga this morning. Naga, and they had one over the Houses of Parliament. That's a beautiful building, isn't it? Don't you think the Houses of Parliament outside? Not so much. It's just like a bubbling cauldron. Looks nice on the outside, but God knows what goes on the inside, dear. Really beautiful over the River Thames, and there it was in the sunshine. And then they showed this picture of Salford. And Naga was saying on the BBC Breakfast News this morning, how beautiful it all looks. I don't know what she's looking at. She can't have been looking at the same thing as me. I thought it looks really dreary and awful. Salford in Manchester. What a depressing looking place that is. That's where the main BBC place is, isn't it, up there? Awful. And then they showed another picture. The weather bloke. Now, who was it this morning? It wasn't Thomas. Can't remember. Another youngish sort of 30-something bloke doing the weather this morning. He was in a field with sheep. And they must have had two cameras there, because probably a drone, actually. This drone was flying over, and you could see all the fields and all that. It was beautiful. It reminded me of exactly where my caravan is, except there's no sheep there. I've got arable farming there. So that's, plants and vegetables, that sort of thing. And he had this goat. He had this goat that would not leave him alone. And I thought, that goat's very, very friendly. Any minute now, it's going to suddenly jump up and try and hump him. Oh, it was fun. And so this goat's all around him. And then I realised every now and again, the weather bloke would put his hand in his pocket, right, and open it up, and sort of where you couldn't really see him opening it up. You had to watch. And he must have had food in his pocket or something. And then he ran out of food. And this goat's all around him. And then it stood up on its two legs like that, like a cat. So some beautiful pictures there. And the weather's going to be nice today and yesterday. Very, very disappointed with you all this morning, boys and girls. I'm going to do my disappointed look like a teacher. Are you ready? Like Theresa May does in Parliament, where she goes like that. She goes like that, doesn't she? I'll do my disappointed look is with glasses. Here we go. Very disappointed. Not one person, and I'm frankly surprised. Those of you that just watch the show for mistakes and never really join in unless you see something wrong and then you comment on that. Not one of you yesterday spotted the fact that the mirror ball was not rotating. I can't believe it. Not JP, not Roy Brownlow, not Adam the plumber, not what's his name? Oh, blimey, I can't remember his name now. Is he there this morning? No, he's not there either. He's not there. No, I can't remember. The bloke who wears the crack tracksuit. Not one of you spotted the fact that the mirror ball wasn't turning yesterday, which means you're not paying full attention to the show. How many of you at the moment are in a room or doing something else while I'm doing my show? How rude is that? If I was round your house and you were talking to me, you wouldn't expect me to get up and start dusting or hoovering or something like that. Rude. That's what it is. Rude. Jerry Millen. That's the other one. Jerry Millen. Oh, you got the date wrong. Oh, your collar's slightly up. Oh, there's something on the wall that shouldn't be there. No one spotted the fact that the mirror ball wasn't turning yesterday. I clearly don't have your full attention, do I? I'm going to give you my full attention now by reading out the first lot of messages very early on in the show. Good morning to Chris Manzar. Good morning, Chris. Morning, young Chris. Michael Lawrence is in the house, as is the lovely Diane Jebb. Your birthday... Fallen down, Diane. Sorry, darling. There we are. Your birthday card is still there, Diane Jebb. Morning to Tommy Flynn. Abdullah. Good morning, Abdullah. Watching on one of the Learn English website groups. Adrian Richardson, a very good morning to you. Christopher Ireland says it's a great sunny, clear day in Dundee in Scotland. Good morning to you. I love Scotland, especially the Highlands. You know that. I've said that so many times before. I must go. I think I'd like to go to the Highlands for a bit of a walking holiday. Not too far, mind. Go on some... Not necessarily walking from place to sort of place and stopping there and spending a night in a hotel. More of sort of, if I was in a hotel or maybe even a caravan, and I'll go out from walks for 2 hours at a time. That must be delightful doing that in the Highlands of Scotland. Take an umbrella, Good morning to Eric Wiltshire, who informs us that we announced the death of a radio legend and colleague and friend, Bob Stewart, who's a very, very famous radio person who died in care in Texas today. Our sympathy goes out to Cynthia, his beloved wife, and the family. Rest in peace, Bob. Great radio people. We won't see the likes of again, I'm afraid. There's very few what I class as great radio people. The youngsters, I mean, they're good. They're good, but they're a different generation, you see. So those young people that are on the radio today that I can't relate to, the young people will relate to them. People like, let's see, who's going to be the big breakfast boy? Roman Kemp. I must admit, I'd listened to Roman Kemp a couple of times on Capital Radio just to see how it does. And it sounds nice and bright and lively and entertaining, I suppose. But it's not Dave Lee Travis, It's not Tony Blackburn. It's not Jimmy Young. They're the ones I relate to, and I suppose it's an age thing, really. I don't think I've listened to Bob Stewart before. I must have done at some point, but I probably would have related to him. It's an age. Like, who's your favourite Doctor Who? How many of you who are of a younger age have just said... Oh, do you know, the names have gone out of my head, all of them. The young bloke who was just doing it. The young bloke who was the one before Jodie Whittaker. The young bloke who was... Oh, no, that was the old bloke, Peter Capaldi. Now, I related to Peter Capaldi, but I didn't relate to the young bloke before him, or even David Tennant. I didn't really relate to David Tennant as Doctor Who, strangely enough. I did Christopher Eccleston, and you'll notice I'm closer to those... older people's age. It's got to be something to do with age, isn't it? If I said who's your favourite Doctor Who, if someone said that to me, I'd say Tom Baker or John Pertwee. They were my Doctor Who's when I was of that age. You know what I mean? It depends how old you are, I guess. Good morning to Mike Rees-Pontu, who's in Portsmouth, along with Christina Ewing, who's there as well. Good morning to Christina. Michael Pullman's in Australia. Morning to you. I'm 10 minutes earlier than I said in your first post. Now, Mike, I want you to go and have a look at that first post now. I want you to go and have a look at that little first post there. What does it say exactly, Mike? I want you to read that exactly. What does it say? And come back to me, my darling. Pay full attention, dear. Christina wants the Chris Reardon Roadshow, maybe starting in Portsmouth. We have sunny seaside caravan bar. I'd be very happy to take my little karaoke show all over the country if it was ever asked for. I would totally do that. Not a chat show. It wouldn't work. You can't just put a stall on a stage. Mind you, Dave Allen did. Oh, I believe there's a Dave Allen night on BBC Two coming up soon. Dave Allen was an excellent Irish comedian. Very, very big. certainly through the 70s, I think the early 80s as well. He's no longer with us, unfortunately, and he was hilarious. He would do the jokes that you and I would laugh at, that the millennials would now shout at. Oh, that's really racist. Oh, that's really homophobic. Oh, we're so offended. He would do all those jokes, and he was a legend. There's something, it might be tonight on BBC Two. Ray Reynolds will know the dates of that. I'm sure he's with us at some point this morning. Good morning to Kathy Conquest of Forsyth. That's Smith. Elaine is there in Israel. Good morning, Elaine. Have they built the stage for the Eurovision Song Contest yet? I think they might have done that by now, which is in Tel Aviv, coming up the month after May, isn't it? The month after next, which is very exciting. Let's have a look. Elaine's getting dressed at the moment. I hope you're not naked, Elaine. Why? I will not have naked people watching this show. Please dress up before you sit there in front of that computer. Christina, I have her full attention listening to you while I'm having a coffee before I start reading German work stuff. Oh, I can't speak German, Christina. I don't know German at all. Eric, Radio Luxembourg. Yes, of course. That's where he's from, that radio DJ with just us. Radio Luxembourg 208. I must admit, I wasn't a Radio Luxembourg listener, to be honest. It faded in and out, but I was indeed one of those people who'd have the radio on quietly in the bedroom while mum and dad were downstairs under the covers. It'd be in the early 70s, wouldn't it? Mike says, it says 9... You've got a little smiley face there. Yeah, yes, it does. It says around 9:35. That doesn't say 9:35. It says around 9:35, doesn't it? That's why I never put it will be on at, because of comments like yours, dear. Around 9:35, which could be 20 minutes either side of that, because I never know exactly. I like to put up that little note, sort of 10, 20 minutes before I start, and then I start getting my stuff ready. Sometimes it comes quickly to me, you know, as indeed happened this morning. The show comes together quickly. Other times I could be up here half an hour trying to sort out a couple of stories and all that. Sometimes it's hard work finding a couple of news stories. Not that we always refer to them, but I like to have them in front of me just in case I run out of things to say or the messages don't come in, because you must always be prepared to do a show without messages. You know, this is one thing that a lot of the internet radio DJs do. And there's all sorts of internet radio stations. There's people that literally do it in the bedrooms and professional people. But generally the ones who are very amateur are hoping or basing their show on messages that come in. And if there's no messages coming in, they don't know what to say. They've got nothing to say. You know, I've known a few people, oh, well, my show's based on requests. Well, what if you don't get any? What are you going to do? You must be prepared to do a whole show without any messages or any... I could sit here for 3-4 hours, you know, talking rubbish. As you well know. Let's have a look. Kathy says she's watching. I daren't move. Good. I will know, Kathy, if you move from that seat, my dear. Christopher Island, let me know if you come up. I have a hotel in Carnoustie. Is that how you say it? Carnoustie, which is a lovely small town, beaches, golf, and 15 minutes drive from Dundee. We also have the only other Victoria and Albert Museum. Is that right? Just open, plus lots of interesting stuff. That sounds nice. I thought there was only ever one Victoria and Albert Museum. I didn't know there was two. Interesting. Passeribo, good morning. Elaine, says they have indeed built the Eurovision stage. It costs a fortune to hold the Eurovision. No wonder. I mean, we put in songs now that have no chance of winning. We've got this song in this. Oh, it's so dreary. It's one of those depressing ballad songs. I don't know who chose that. Oh, and I went on one of the Eurovision groups and pointed out, you know, oh, awful song. I don't think it's going to win. Oh my God! Well, you think the world was about to stop turning? I was attacked left, right, and centre for my own view. Mad, isn't it? People are so mad. They get so angry. It's awful, the UK song. I would be very surprised if it's one of those that gets any votes. There was a good UK song, but it didn't get the votes. It was called We Are the Freaks. Look it up on YouTube. We Are the Freaks. It's really catchy. You'll only need to hear it once, and the chorus will stick in your head. Not like that dreary old thing that other one's singing. And I'm sorry, he doesn't look right for Eurovision either. You've got to have a certain look. He does not look right for Eurovision. I'll tell you that now. Good morning, there's Ray Reynolds. Good morning, Ray. The Chris Reardon Anti-Snowflake Roadshow. I'm liking that, Christina. We're liking that. Elaine's not naked. Good girl. There's Roy. There's Roy Brownlow. Good morning, Roy. Danny Davis is in the house. Aren't you on the radio at the moment, Danny? Are you having a little break from your transmission this morning? Eh? Roy says, dreamt about you last night, Chris. You got buried in concrete. You'd like to bury me in concrete, wouldn't you, eh? But don't worry, I'm very strong. I could get out of that easily. Tony Carroll teased me, Chris, when you were on holiday in Cyprus to get back to work. I'm always at work, Tony. Always. Congratulations, Cliff Richard, Eurovision 1968. Are you a bit late with that? Mind you, at least he's still alive. Good morning to Mark Jones. Good morning, Mark. Elaine says, truth be told, our song this year is worse than last year. And that's saying a lot. Well, it'll probably win then, Elaine. I'm sorry, no one can convince me that the song that won the Eurovision last year, Toy, I think it was called Toy for Israel, was good. It was awful. It was just awful. No musicalness in that whatsoever. And yet it won. Why did it win? Oh, because it celebrates diversity. What happened to the music? Why aren't they voting for the music in it? There was a couple of good songs. There's always a couple of good songs on the Eurovision, but they just don't seem to get anywhere anymore. The most recent best one, I think, was Rise Like a Phoenix. I thought that was excellent, that song. It was about 4 years ago for Austria, wasn't it? It was a fantastic song, and that one, I won 450 quid on that when I bet. I bet £100 on that. Won £450. Thank you very much. Which I then handed over to my niece for some reason. I don't know why. One second. Robert Lunn, good morning. And Eurovision will score nil points. Correct, Robert, I think you're right with that. I think we're together on that one. Danny Davis, the Eurovision song this year is based on The Greatest Showman. It's just awful, Danny. Do you like it then? Do you like it? Are you liking it because it's of the song or some other reason? Good morning to Muckety Muck. Good morning. Who enjoyed my shoe repair video. I did a shoe repair video last night, boys and girls. Oh, yes, I showed you how to repair a pair of, one trainer. Because what's happened, it's come apart on the side. Glue gun. My nephew, 21, was absolutely... He's 22 next week, actually. My nephew, Jimmy, was horrified the fact that I repaired a pair of trainers. I've got 3 brand new pairs in a cupboard. They've been there about a year and a half now. But I don't see the point in bringing out a new pair of trainers if the old ones are still functioning perfectly all right. Why would you do that? That's just wasting stuff. There's too much wasting going on in this world. There really is. When a hole develops in the floor of the shoe, I might replace it. Or I suppose I could put a piece of wood inside and cut it to the right shape and continue to use them like that. Terrible waste goes on in this world. It really does. Elaine hates the Eurovision song this year. Well, our one. It's awful, Elaine. It's awful. Absolutely awful. Good morning to Mellum. Morning, young Mellum. Monk is back. Monk has been there for a while, Roy. Oh, no, you haven't been here for a couple of days, have you? You haven't been in Clays. Here you are. Danny Davis plays that awful Eurovision tune. I'm going to play you a bit. Hang on. If you haven't heard it, I can't play much because the copyright police would be straight over and they'd take us off air. Oh, you playing our music? Oh, yeah, I've got permission to do that. Oh, Christ, they get on my nerves. UK Eurovision. I'm only going to play you a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit out of the middle. It's awful. Awful. Here it goes. Dreary song coming up. You ready? Oh. There's no... Do you like that or not? And he's got no stage presence either. Wrong person singing the wrong song, I'm afraid. Don't do it for me at all. Elaine, starting in May, I'm going to devote my radio show to previous Eurovision favourites when the Eurovision Song Contest and not a freak show. You're absolutely right, Elaine. That's what it's become, a freak show. Some of those costumes and the people that performed here, awful. Can we have some normal people on there? Like me. I could do Eurovision. Or we could do a remix of Tie a Yellow Ribbon round the old oak tree or something like that. It's a shame, what's her name, isn't on there this morning. I would sing specially for her. Good morning to Adrian. I hope you appreciate the clip I sent you about fungal toes that will help your trainer problem. Nothing wrong with my toes. Well, actually, there is. I've got fungus on my toes. I'm supposed to put that brush on that stuff, you know, something like that. Good morning to Russ Philip Vernon. Last two shows I started watching just as you were finishing the show. Well, I'm glad you're a little bit earlier today, dear. Bring back Gina G. Ooh, just a little bit, says Mike. Agree. Happy songs. Happy songs. Kathy, you need to buy good shoes. Northants was known for shoemakers years ago. I have got some good shoes down. Ted Baker shoes downstairs. I've got 2 pairs of those. They're about 3 years old. They last forever, don't they? The heel is just starting to go down on the corner. But you can just have those repaired. Put new heels on. My mate goes mad. My mate, why don't you buy a new pair? Because you can have the old ones fixed. Money to burn, some people, I tell you that. Good morning to Maureen, joining us on the YouTube this morning. Morning, Maureen. Okay. Chris Reardon, do's points. I like that, Roy. I like that. Elaine, rather. Good. Now, listen. Mother's Day. Do not leave it till the last moment. If you are lucky enough to still have your mums, I don't, unfortunately. I wish I did, but I don't. If you've still got your mums, go and get them a Mother's Day. But don't leave it till Sunday morning. I tell you, don't think, I'll leave it till Sunday morning because the flowers will be nice and fresh. No, they won't. They'll be bloody gone. You need to get your presents now. Presents and flowers and chocolate. You don't need to spend a small fortune. If you're a bit short of the old cash, go down to Lidl or Aldi. They've got plenty of flowers in there. And they've probably got some good Mother's Day presents. So please do not leave it till the last minute. Can you suggest anything other than chocolates or flowers for everyone else who's with us on the show today that you would give for Mother's Day? What would you suggest? Anything? Perhaps a little night out or something. Take her to the Harvester with the family. Anything like that? Unusual presents, perhaps, for Mother's Day. Get typing, boys and girls, and let's see what you come up with. Unusual presents for Mother's Day. As I say, my mum isn't here anymore. I shall get some flowers and put them next to the picture. Several pictures I've got of her in the living room down there. And I often sit there quietly and just look over at my mum's pictures. And then on Sunday, it's my turn. I'm doing the organ again at church this week. I got the hymns. I told you what the hymns were yesterday, didn't I? And I shall be playing at some point during there, quietly, Mother of Mine. Mother of mine, you gave to me all that, to do everything. I can't remember the words. I shall be playing that quietly at the church on Sunday. But don't leave it till the last day. Very important. What would you suggest for Mother's Day, anyone? Type away. Adrian, Ted Baker, good shoes. Question, Church's handmade shoes. Church's handmade, I've heard of those. Very good, about £300. Aren't they £300? Church's. I think I saw some for £300, but £3,000 is a lot of money. Do you mean 300 there? Michael says, I think Australia might have picked the wrong person for Eurovision as well. I have seen your one, and I can't remember how it goes now, actually. I thought your lad last year was quite good as well. Did he come second or third last year? We'd like Australia to win the Eurovision. I'd really like that. If you win it, you've got to do it from Sydney Opera House. Would that be big enough? Would the largest auditorium at the Sydney Opera House, would that be big enough to hold Eurovision? It's got to come from there, isn't it? If you ever get it in Australia, surely. Christina, we have a nice outlet mall here with loads of good shoe shops with loads of discounts. Another reason for the Chris Reardon Seaside Roadshow in Portsmouth. We could do it like Seaside Special. Do you remember Seaside Special, Christina? Great programme. Actually, Ray Reynolds managed to get me a couple of shows on DVD of Seaside Special. Basically, the BBC, during the summer months, they had a big top, you know, like a circus thing, and they kitted it out with the cameras and the lights, and they did a variety show every Saturday night. It was excellent, very popular. I think it ran for about 4 or 5 years. Presumably that would be quite an expensive thing to do because you're taking down a tent and setting it up somewhere else, and they do the Seaside Special show. Excellent it was. Way back, way back. Where are we? Chris Reed and Dues Points. Now, what was I going to refer to? I was going to refer to something then. Never mind. Can't remember what it was now. Went to Ronnie's yesterday to visit his cat. So he popped over after the show. Went for a little drive in his new hybrid Mini, which he plugs it in to charge it. It was quite funny the other day. Went to Waitrose, because at Waitrose they've got free charging. And you plug in your car and it's supposed to charge. We couldn't get the damn thing working, could we? Went off for an hour, had her haircut, and we helped that elderly lady who had fallen over yesterday come back to the car and it hadn't charged at all. He had to use his petrol. He was in pieces. Using his petrol, weren't he? Michael's taking his mum out to dinner, but first I'm taking my mum to Thorpe Park on Sunday for a little surprise. Oh, you're not going to put her on those fast rides, are you, Michael? There's a lot I don't go on them. No, I do not. I don't go on roller coasters or fast rides ever. Very, very rare. Oh, you'll have a good time. Thorpe Park is actually not too far from me, Michael. Here in Bracknell, in Berkshire. Here. Yeah. So I went to see his cats. Vuitton, his cat. That's the one that had the brain operation. It had a tumour on its head, and most vets were saying, you know, when he went to the vet, there's nothing we can do. Anyway, he investigated further and discovered this veterinary hospital, which is somewhere around the M25. I think possibly north M25, somewhere like that. Found this veterinary hospital and took the cat there, and they removed the tumour from his brain. When it come back, it had all stitches down the head like this, but they done it. They'd done it in almost £8,000. That was not just that operation, but all the other bits and pieces, the aftercare and all. £8,000, and that cat is has become really. It was a bit standoffish, to be honest. That cat always was. It wouldn't really come over to you. It liked to be left alone. Not anymore, it doesn't. It loves it. It's so friendly now. This cat's probably grateful for the fact that it's still alive. I mean, how many people would have been able to afford £8,000 to have a lump cut out of its head? Most people, I'm afraid, I don't even like to say it, you know, but it's just how it is. He did have insurance, and the insurance covered, I think, about £5,000. So, but he was £3,000 he had to pay for the other bits and pieces. But it's become so friendly, that cat. And I did a little video yesterday, which you can find on my Facebook wall, facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK. And it came behind me. When you watch the video, that's actually the second time it does it, because I set up the camera after it did it first. It goes behind you, and if you lift up your head, it comes there and puts its head between your shoulder and your head and allows you to stroke it. Very, very friendly cat, but very nervous. Quite a nervous cat. It's only got to hear a noise and it's like, and the eyes open up. You know, it's a little bit nervous at the moment. Morning to Wayne Martin. Good morning, young Wayne. Welcome to the show, Wayne. And Christina, my mum was in Texas, and America celebrates Mother's Day in May. But since mum is with the Angels too, I will just light a candle. Oh, and there's a great Israeli Eurovision song, Christina. Light a candle. I don't know if you know that one. Type it in. Israel, light a candle. I love it. Didn't get anywhere at all. That's about 15 years ago. Light a candle with me. 1,000 candles in the dark will open our heart. You know that one? Elena know that one, wouldn't you? I'm glad you like today's jacket, Wayne. There we go. Maybe Maybe Theresa May will surprise us all this morning and suddenly she'd just pop up in one of her special news speeches and say, I've decided, and it's already been done, that we have now left the European Union. She might just pop up on the telly. Can you just imagine that? They go mad. Good morning, Martin Edwards. Well, better late than never, mate. Dear, dear me. We've been here 25 minutes. Well, half an hour now. Where have you been? Watered all my hanging baskets yesterday. They've gone right the way through winter, my hanging baskets. I've got trailing geraniums. A couple of weeks ago, I cut them right, not all the way back, but, mostly back, so they're just small plants, and they're starting to grow again. I don't know if I should change the earth in the hanging basket pots or not, really, because I've got 5 massive, like planter type things just at the front of my house. Plus, they're only black plastic things in there. And they are full of different plants. There's a lot of lilies in there, loads of lilies and various other plants. And the earth in there has been there, must be about 5 years now. And it still haven't changed. Every year I think, well, when they've died down, I'll empty them out and change the earth and put them all back together again. But I've never bothered. And they still produce beautiful blooms. Wait till those lilies come up there. I wanted to take 2 of them with me to the caravan. And as we came through a relatively dry winter, I suppose, I tried to pick one up. I can't do it myself, but me and my mate would have been able to pick one up and put it on a trolley and take it. Unfortunately, about 3 weeks ago, I made the mistake of watering them. And now they're too heavy. I can't pick them up at all. So I might have to leave them here till next year, maybe. You never know. Mrs. May won't be doing that. Will she not, Wayne? Oh, well, never mind. It was a very mild winter this year, Wayne. It really was. I said this to a couple of blokes at the gym the other day. I said, we come through that winter pretty unscathed. Oh, I don't know. It's been quite cold. I said, yeah, for about 2 days at a time. And then it warms up again. Fantastic. Can't complain about, well, same as last year. We haven't had a good winter for 2 years. Or should I say a bad winter for 2 years. I think they were on the news this morning. We're going to have a couple of days of really nice weather like we did yesterday and today. And then it's going to get cold again with snow forecast. And then you look on the map and the snow is up there where Christopher Island is in Dundee, right up the north. That's the only time you see that stuff. Dear me. Michael, May comes on the TV and I say be sacked for number 10. She's not going to be sacked. She's going to leave, isn't she? She's going to leave. Adrian says, do you have food in your pots and baskets that helps the earth as well? Do you have any pansies as well hanging around? No, only are you around the stage on a Saturday night, Adrian. You're the only pansy that I know, dear. Morning to Tony Power. He got a new washing machine yesterday. Well, it looks like it's a disaster. Tony says, well, my washing machine experience was a disaster yesterday. They refused to connect it because there was a trickle of water coming from the pipes after it was disconnected. So it's gone back. Oh, they've taken the washing machine back, have they? Oh, well, that's bad news, isn't it? That's bad news. What a shame. So you've now got no... Oh, you're going to have to go down the laundrette, Tony. Oh, you'll enjoy that, dear. Laundrettes are wonderful places. You go in there, gossiping away with everyone, don't they? Got a message here. Good morning. Someone says, keep up the great streams. Thank you very much. I'm glad. I don't know who you are. If you can send a text, you see where the text number is at the top. Please, if you want to, you don't have to, of course. If you want to put just perhaps your name, your first name and where you are in the world, Chris from London or Mary from Dublin or someone like that, then I know who you are, or sort of, so we can say a name and where you are. It's always nice to refer to someone by names. Thank you to Gary Butler, who sends me a picture of Theresa May on youporn.com. You want to see some of the stuff my nephew sends me? It's shocking. I had a nice little FaceTime video actually this morning, a WhatsApp video call from my niece, who's a nightmare to get hold of. She's living in Cyprus now with her husband and her little family. I had a little FaceTime with her this morning. I've been trying to contact her for ages. She don't answer the bloody phone. That's the trouble. Adrian's got a new dishwasher. Tony says he's not happy with the service. Now, well, hang on a minute, Tony. They've delivered a washing machine that didn't work and they've taken it away, presumably to be replaced. What's the problem? I know it's disappointing, the fact that they've delivered a washing machine that's faulty. But I think I'd rather they had noticed that and taken it away rather than left me with a faulty one, because then you've got to make another appointment and they come and take that one away and bring another one. So, was this from Curry's? Where was this from, Tony? Kathy, I need a pair of Doc Martens. I've got them. I've got Doc Martens. They go on if it's snowing outside. If it's snowing or tall, slippery outside, I put the Dr. Martens on. You don't fall over. I have tried to walk on ice in trainers before, and you're all over the place. Oh, that's horrible, isn't it? Falling. I did fall over in the snow this year. I think we had about 2 days of snow. Back in January, was it perhaps? I think it was January. And I've come back from work, and there was snow on the ground, and it was so thick. I've got my 2 bags, and I've put the car in the garage, walked across the road, stepped up onto the pavement. And I don't know what happened, but I slipped backwards. But that's okay, because the snow breaks your fall. I didn't hurt myself. I was like a beetle, like that, with my legs in the air. Adrian got a new dishwasher. They connected it to the water. Very happy. Good servicing from John Lewis. There you go. That's where I go, Adrian. John Lewis. Anything like that comes from John Lewis. Any electricals I buy come from John Lewis. Always. Always. Men come in little green uniforms. They put it all together, take away the rubbish and check that you're very happy with the service. Fantastic service from John Lewis. You won't get that in Curry's, dear. I never forget, at one of the flats, about 10 years ago, maybe a bit more than this, I ordered, I wanted to order a cooker. I ordered an electric cooker. So I went into Curry's, decided the one I wanted, and said, yes, so do you want, what's it, connection? Was it connection? Setup? Installation. Do you want installation? I said, well, how much is that then? Is that £75? I said, and I'm like, what's £75? I said, it's electric, yeah, it's not gas. Yeah, that's right, it's £75. I said, well, all it is 3 wires. That's all it is, 3 wires. Thick wire, mind. Thick wire, 3 wires on the back of the cooker. Open up the thing, 3 wires on the electrical connection on the wall. That's it. £75, please. No, I'll do it myself, thank you very much. Anyway, so the day came. When will you deliver it? Tuesday. What time would that be? 9 till 5. Oh, blimey. As luck would have it, so I got there on a Tuesday at the 9 o'clock or whatever it was. 10 o'clock they come. So they put this cooker down in the hall, right? Dropped it in the hallway. I said, can you bring it into the kitchen, please? No, sorry, you haven't paid for installation. They left it in the bloody hallway. And I had to drag it into position. Blooming outrageous. I never bought from Curry's again. Never bought from them again. Rude. Blooming rude they are. Morning to Milky Bar Kid. The Milky Bar Kid is strong and tough, and he is watching this morning. Today's my wife's birthday. Could she get a happy birthday? Of course she can. She'll be watching on her phone. Good morning to Sarah. A big happy birthday to Sarah this morning. Sarah, I do sing at the end of the show to all the other birthdays that have appeared, but when we get a special one, like yours, that has been mentioned by another customer to this show, then I like to do it personally. So happy birthday to Sarah this morning. I hope he's bought you something nice. Otherwise, a divorce, darling. Don't muck around, dear. If you haven't got a decent present, get rid of him, dear, and trade him in for a younger model. Oh, dear. People say, why haven't you got anyone in your life, Chris? Because I don't fancy anyone my own age. Who wants to go out with an old codger, even if you are one yourself? Huh? About 35. I'm looking for someone between sort of 32 and 42, I think. It has gone up a bit recently. 32 to 42. Mary, good morning to non-Irish Mary from Ireland. She's with us this morning. Good morning, lovely Mary. Hope you're well today on this beautiful... Get out in that garden of yours. Mary's got a lovely garden. Oh, I've been there. Oh, yes. It's like a lot of rockery and it's paving stones, but she's got but around it she's got like earth in sort of, how would you explain? I don't know how you explain. Like it's like a bank around, and then she's got all paving stones. It's only a small garden in the middle of London, paving stones there, and some beautiful plants, including an olive tree. Beautiful there, beautiful. Tony, there isn't a John Lewis near. I'll have to go down the River Wandle. Oh, a laundrette. Tony hasn't got a laundrette there. There must be a laundrette where you are, Tony. There must be. He's got to go and wash it in the River Wandle. You see it on the programme. So people, and they do that in some countries still. You watch some of the documentaries from India, and all the women and the men go down to the river and wash their clothes in the river, don't they? Have you got a couple of stones so you can scrub out all the dirt? Because you are a bit of a dirty person, I would imagine, aren't you, Tony? I bet those clothes have to be changed 2 or 3 times a day, don't they? Oh, good morning to Mark Cording. Morning. Happy no Brexit day. Yeah, well, I've got this on anyway. There was nothing wrong with the washing machine. Wasn't there? What? You said there was water coming out of the washing machine. Hang on a minute. Have I read this wrong? There was a trickle of water coming from the pipes after it was disconnected. Oh, right, the pipes. Oh. Well, I wonder why they took that away then. There was a trickle of water coming from the old tubes from the old washing machine. Nothing to do with the new one. It's just that they saw water coming down from the old tubes. Oh, that's a bit odd, isn't it? Well, I wonder why they didn't do that then. That shouldn't make any difference. Because once you put the pipe on the back of the washing machine, you open it anyway. So whether there's a trickle coming out of that, unless the trickle was further up, I don't know. Adrian, how many eyes or shoelaces holes have you got in your Dr. Martens? Have you got 20 or 25? Oh, no, they're only small ones. They haven't got these things like they're about that big like that. Oh, I'm not a skinhead. I could be, couldn't I? Should I go around beating up people? I'm skinhead, mate. Mods and Rockers. What was that film? Quadrophenia. That was a good film, wasn't it? I like the music. Mike, John Lewis do price matching. If you see a product cheaper elsewhere, ask him to match it. I've done it before, as I have as well. Excellent, sir. I can't fault John Lewis. Can never, ever. All the years I've been going there, can't fault them once, I'll tell you that. Tony says the general service was excellent. It was the guys who came to connect the washing machine. They were not willing to take a risk because there was a little trickle of water. Okay, fair enough. He's going to reorder from the same company as they apologise for the problem caused. They actually, and have offered to put it right. I tell you what, Tony, surely you might be able to get a little bit of money about that for your inconvenience. Might be worth asking that, okay? My mate's good at that. Oh, yes. He will buy something and look for faults on it and then ring them up and try and get some money back. Always does it. Shut up, Tony. Adrian, are you wearing the same trouser pattern as your jacket or shorts? I have got the trousers to this, but I don't wear them. I think it looks a bit naff. The jacket's all right. I'm gonna wear this tonight. Hey, shall I wear this tonight? That'll upset the Ramonas, won't it? I'm gonna wear this tonight. I will wear this tonight at work. There's a couple of people who come in there, English people who hate the Union flag because of what happened in the past. I mean, how far do you want to go back? Do we hate the people from Norway because the Vikings invaded here? We're probably descendants from Norway, are we? I don't know. Thank you. What do we got here? Oh, I've got a couple of stories here for you as well. Where is this now? Now, what do you think of this? Do you kiss people that you don't fancy on the lips? I don't. I could never kiss someone I don't fancy on the lips. Not even if my mum and dad were still here, I wouldn't kiss them on the lips. Wouldn't. And I hate that. You know when people you don't fancy and they kiss you on the lips? And someone tried to move my head like that. Even great nephew George and Emily, they did it, oh, kiss goodbye, and they go like that with their lip. No, wrong. In my mind, that's wrong, to kiss someone that you don't fancy on the lips. Well, on one of the worst programmes on television, Loose Women, in The Sun this morning, it says, what do you think about this? What do you think? Would you kiss someone you don't fancy Oh, look, say you was to meet me in a dark alley somewhere. And you look me up and I don't fancy him, but I know him. Hello, Chris, would you then kiss me on the lips? Would you do that? Or to someone else that you don't fancy, you just know them? Is that okay to kiss them on the lips? In the Sun this morning, talking about the worst programme, one of the worst programmes on television, Loose Women. 4 or 5 old bags cackling away at that, their sad, lonely, pathetic lives. A little bit like I do on this show, to be honest. The Loose Women panel squealed and cringed over Sam Fires. Who's Sam Fires? I don't know who that is. Is she an actress? Sam Fires on the lips kiss with her mother-in-law, Gaynor, on the show. The 4 women were discussing scenes from last night's episode of The Mummy Diaries. I don't know what that is. Which saw Sam, who's 20... Hang on a minute, I've got the wrong camera there. No, Sam, who's 28 years old, receives a kiss on the lips from boyfriend Paul Knightley's mum. I don't know any of these people, I'm afraid. Host Christine Lampard. Is she married to that footballer? Christine Lampard. See, I don't know I'm really sorry. I do not know celebrities. I know stars. I don't know celebrities. I think that's just a waste of time. Anyway, host Christine Lampard then reminded her co-stars of the time when... Who are the stars? Let's have a look who they're. Do we recognise any of the Loose Women? No, not really. I recognise Christine Lampard. Was she on that one show years ago with that miserable Welsh bloke? He's not working anymore, is he? I haven't seen him anywhere for a while, have you? You know, miserable Welsh bloke. And they left the one show to go on the Good Morning Britain thing, didn't they? And it didn't work. No one watched. They hated it. It says, reminded host Christine Lampard then reminded her co-stars of the time when Paul kissed his mum on the lips and showed a clip. So Paul is Sam Fires. Oh, I don't understand. Paul kissed his mum on the lip. Oh, Paul kissed it. Oh, no, you wouldn't kiss your mum on the lip. Maybe if you're a little person, if you're a little child, but once you go over a certain way, you wouldn't want to kiss your mum on the lips, would you? It's just wrong. Doesn't mean you don't love them. It's just, oh, I don't know. It says, as they watched both clips, Nadia Sawallah, Jane Moore, don't know, Carol McGiffin, was she in the... Carol McGiffin, was she in the Nolans? No, she can't have been. McGiffin. Oh, well. Squealed before Christine added, this is obviously a bit of a family thing. They don't see it as being anything weird. Jane then pretended to kiss Carol, causing more cries and squirming as the audience laughed. Gaynor first made headlines in 2006. I don't know what these stories are here. These are like non-stories. But anyway, you get the basic idea, don't you, there? Would you kiss someone that you don't fancy on the lips? Not necessarily tongues, you know, not that, but, you know, simply on the lips. No, I'm sorry. Let's see what you're saying. Thank you, Melman. Likes the jacket. Thank you, Melman. This is only about 20 quid. I've had this years. You get these off Amazon. Just type in Union Jack jacket and you'll find one on there, okay? Adrian's off to the gym. Bye-bye. Mike, remember World Earth Hour tomorrow night. Turn off your non-essential lights for an hour between 8 and 9. Thank you, Mike. Christina, are you at Central Station tonight? I am indeed, Christina. A good place to park is actually on York Way. So you get to King's Cross Station. If you're coming along the Euston Road, King's Cross Station is on the left. Next to King's Cross Station is a bus lane. Do not go in that bus lane at any time. Cameras on it, okay? Just at the end of the bus lane, just literally before the traffic lights, you can cut in and turn left. Right? Go up that road, park somewhere on the right. You'll see lots of other cars up there. Uber drivers all over the blooming place. You'll see buses parked on the left. All the way up that road, on the right, are car parking spaces. So you can park there. Okay? just watch where everyone else is parked. You can also park on single yellow lines after a certain time. Now, so you've come round the corner, so you've got King's Cross Station on the left, okay? Bus lane there on the left. Just after the bus lane ends is a set of traffic lights. You'll see the solid line disappear. That's where you can turn left. Watch out, the buses won't let you go. Watch out for the buses. They won't let you go. So then you'll see probably a car. If you're not at the front, there'll be another car trying to turn left. You may block the other lane, but there's nothing you can do about that, okay? There's three lanes there. 2 go straight up and 1 goes left. The 2 going straight up, the middle lane, if there's like a little queue of cars trying to turn left, you have to block the lane. There's nothing else you can do about that. So you turn left, go up York Road, and then anywhere on the right, see if you can park there. Okay? At the top of York Road is another set of traffic lights. You either go straight on, or sharp right. So you've parked your car, then go sharp right. Just walk along there, 2 minutes, and there's Central Station. Do not park on that road, okay? There's some sort of residential thing. You look at the signs, it's incredibly complicated. I got a ticket there about 3 years ago, and I never parked there again. So, once again, park on York Road, right? Once you get to this, before those traffic lights, just pull over to the right, park there somewhere, and then get out your car, lock it up, and walk around where the traffic lights are. You go either straight on or turn right. So you turn right there, walking, turn right there, and it's just up there. I hope that helps. All right, Christina, she's back off to Germany again, aren't you? Tony, on the subject of the company who bought the washing machine, they communicated really well. Take the old machine away. They are as good as the best companies. Okay, fitters couldn't be bothered. That's a shame, isn't it? Good morning to JP. Morning, JP. Okie doke, boys and girls. Let's do today's birthdays. Happy birthday on this Friday, the 29th of March 2019. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 birthdays today. Roger Twiggy Day. Excellent radio DJ. Good morning, Roger. Happy birthday to you. Mandy today is 52 years old today. Happy birthday, Mandy. Christopher Matheson is 31 years old on this Friday. Jonathan Brown is 34 today. And my very good friend and the very talented Conor Dunmore, who plays in a band. He's played. Oh, I don't know if he plays in a band. I know he plays the guitar. Might be on his own or in a band. I can't remember now. Is a young 21 years old today. I worked with him for a little while he was a barman at Central Station. I hope your music career's going all right, Conor. And never give up your dreams. Never give up. You're in the music thing. You'll have a lot of things thrown in your way. You might not become an international star like Justin Bieber or someone like that, but it doesn't mean you've got to stop doing what you love. You'll always have little gigs to play in pubs and things like that, I'm sure. So happy birthday to you all, especially you there, Conor. And of course, we got Sarah's birthday as well, where her husband sent in a little message for a birthday message. So happy birthday to you as well. Get the earplugs, Mike. That's it, dear. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Okie doke. Friday night, it's karaoke, and it's a cabaret time tonight. It's karaoke time tonight. If you're in the North London area, why don't you come and join us all? It's a good laugh. You don't have to be able to sing. What you need to do is just come and have a good time. We've got plenty of singers there. If you don't want to sing, there's always someone else. But if you do want to sing, all the better. You don't have to hold a note. Just don't do a depressing ballad. That's all I'll say. Join us for Friday night karaoke tonight at Central Station Bar, 37 Wharfdale Road, King's Cross, London. If you come in, park on the York Way, okay? Park on York Way if you're coming there. Central Station karaoke tonight from 8:30 in North London in the King's Cross area. Have a lovely day, boys and girls. I'll see you again very soon. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye now.